Welcome back to another episode of the Junk Monkeys Podcast, your bi-weekly connection through conversation. I'm one of your hosts, Randy McLeod. I'm joined by the illustrious Noah Garbutt.
Hello.
And the magnanimous Bradley Gertzen.
Hello.
Hello. Guys, we are going to ask the question that is on everybody's mind. And by everybody, I mean just me. But like,
Okay.
Do we still need the movie theaters?
No. Bulldoze them all down and make more fantastic golf courses.
Oh, ew. Oh, starting off terribly.
I hate golf so much.
We're gonna delve into the answer to that question when we get into the podcast. But I'm glad that we're starting off strong with golf courses over movie theaters. Brad?
No, I'm supposed to give my answer now?
No, I just want to know, like, movie theaters or golf courses real quick.
Movie theaters or golf courses?
Yeah, which one?
Well, I guess movie theaters.
Boom. And there you have it, folks. We're going to get right into it on this episode of the Junk Monkeys Podcast.
I hate golf so much.
It's funny you say that, Noah.
Courses?
It's so
I'm
funny.
down for mini golf.
Mini golf courses, maybe?
It's actually hilarious that you say that. You what?
I hate golf.
No, you said something in between there.
I hate golf courses so much.
He said, folks, I swear. Guess what? We're going to try. No, see.
Oh, you just
when
did
I
it again.
say, we're going to try doing this episode as a PG episode. We're going
Zero
to try
swears?
Absolutely zero swears.
Dude, I
got
dial
this.
in.
You should have told us that before.
No. That was probably in like the preamble part where Dan's playing his music or whatever, and like it's like we're faded, so you can't hear us.
More faded than
Yeah,
I
we're
hope.
faded, bro. We're
bro.
faded, bro. Hey, everyone, welcome back. Like I said, yeah, this is our first PG episode of the Junk
Fully
Monkeys
PG.
Podcast. I did this on purpose because I want this to be one of our shorter episodes because we got time is so precious.
For the
Precious
attention
for
span.
everybody, man.
So we need to have a little bit of stakes on this, though. The first person to swear has to.
Kiss Randy right on the mouth.
No, I wouldn't say that. We'll figure something out. Maybe like I don't know. Has to buy the next round whenever we go for drinks. How about that?
I'm down with that.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Bruce Carino.
A brewski. A mother. No.
Aw.
Beside that, we're gonna make this a quick episode, but I want to do like this came like a bolt of lightning in my brain the other day where I was like, you know what? Like one of my favorite episodes was that's kind of like underrated that we've done.
Right.
Are sports still relevant?
Okay.
That was kind of just a conversation about sports.
Right.
But I like the thumbnail, or not the thumbnail, but the title of like,
Thanks.
hey, let's ask a question. I did like the thumbnail a lot. Remember when we talked about how like you put our fucking, damn it.
Oh, Randy. Oh, you were the culprit, man.
All right, now we can swear once again.
We
No,
made it
keep
like
it in.
5
PG, man.
minutes.
We gotta
We
keep
made
it in.
5 minutes. Not even that. Okay. Anyway, back on track.
I'm still going to try not to swear.
I also am gonna try. I'm gonna
I'm
try.
going to try.
Yep.
I'll try my best.
I appreciate that. But yeah, I really like that episode because it was almost like a it wasn't clickbaity, but it was like, hey, let's ask the question. Let's ask a
Right.
question that like, hey, are you like, I don't know, like definitive answers. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I want to do that with movie theaters because I've been thinking about the movie theaters a lot lately.
Right.
And genuinely, guys, it's looking dour. I'm not gonna lie, but I want to get into it.
Box office has not been going
It's
well.
not going good, bro.
Ever.
So yeah, we're gonna get right into that after some quick housekeeping, guys. One of those wild things happened the other week.
Right.
Oh my God.
One of the craziest things.
Obviously, everybody's heard of Operation Get Ran to San Fran. We all love it. We all are campaigning.
Everyone has heard
Yeah.
of it.
Everybody, including somebody from San Francisco themselves.
Oh, yeah, baby.
I was working an event, a charity barbecue. I was exhausted. I hadn't eaten.
Delirious.
I was delirious. I'm whipping up a quick turkey bacon club at home.
Freaking love turkey
You
bacon
do
clubs.
freaking love. Yeah.
I love them so much, man.
Holy frick, man.
Oh.
But like, delirious. I'm making the sandwich. I'm scrolling Twitter mindlessly, and I see Joey Noel from Kinda Funny, the place that I'm campaigning to try and get to.
For those that don't know, Joey Noel, kind of a big wig.
Kind of a big wig here at Kinda Funny.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal. I see that she has tagged at the Junk Monkeys. And I'm like, no way. Absolutely no way.
shot.
And I'm like, again, I hadn't eaten since 8:30 in the morning. It was 4:30 in the afternoon. And I had to screenshot it and send it to the group chat. And I was like, guys, am I making this up? Like, am I actually hallucinating right now? And Noah's like, nah. Noah went in and found receipts, bro. Like, he went into her profile. Immediately. It's just like, yeah, this is real. I'm like,
no, that's actually there. Even though it's in the replies, but there's no post that it was replied to on the Junk Monkeys feed.
Precisely.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
I was hyped up.
Dude, I couldn't believe it.
Oh, it was sick.
I was sitting in the back seat of the work truck getting amped.
Let's go, bro.
Getting electric.
Yeah.
I was like, even just a little pat on the back.
Exactly, man. Like, it's just nice that it's like, oh.
It's getting out there.
It's getting out there. Somebody has investigated the channel.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's nice.
They're getting our submissions.
And she lolled.
She
said that. She said in the tweet, LOL.
That our housekeeping made her LOL.
Made her LOL.
So I'll take it.
At that time, I believe we were the only one in that Get Ran to San Fran operation thing. We were the only Junk Monkeys podcast content creators that have been referenced by her so far.
Great point.
Like the only content creators in the running.
I went through the replies. I didn't see any other like random podcasts. It's like, oh, I listened to your podcast and I thought that was funny. We're still doing the up and comer thing.
You know, crazy.
We're gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna be like, oh man, this means that I'm going.
Let's hype it up. Let's hype it up even more.
But this is a great sign, and this is a great update for all of us campaigning for this. So.
Yeah, and even if obviously if you don't end up going to San Fran, having someone be like, that was funny, guys.
I peaked.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was funny.
We've all peaked.
That was nice.
This is all of us, guys.
This is the highest.
All downhill from here.
Basically, Rand has gotten to San Fran, in my mind.
Basically, mentally, Randy's already there.
Exactly.
On Twitter, Randy has made it to San Fran.
Precisely. Next thing, shout out to our shorts. Our last short that we put up.
Crazy.
Got over 400 views.
It's a lot of people out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
Sure is.
So yeah, obviously shout out to Dan for creating that, but like that's wild. I don't know why that happened.
I don't know.
Shorts are like that, I feel.
They really are. Like, and then I posted another one the other day and it has 2 views. Like it's just wild.
Yeah.
Just hits.
Doing that.
And then this is a last call for running with Rand. Donation link is still in the description for the United Way, but I'm doing the half marathon in a week and a half.
That's coming up quick.
It's coming up real quick. I'm so scared.
You're like, oh.
I'm so nervous, man.
You'll make it through.
I will. And
Randy,
I don't doubt that.
Randy, you took me running and you wiped the floor with me.
Noah, I'm so happy you went running with me. Genuinely, I wanted to bring this up to you, but
like garbage.
As you should. And that's running.
Yeah.
Yep.
You feel like garbage, and then you feel really good for a little while.
Genuinely,
when is that supposed to happen?
After a few times.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been doing this since like September last year, and then it only got good November to December last year. Anyway, so like obviously Noah came out running with me. If you follow me on Instagram, you could have seen the fantastic photo of the two of us just having the best time. Noah and I
around.
just absolute athletes.
I did see that post. I have re-downloaded Instagram on occasion.
Okay.
I've stayed off shorts quite well.
Good. Proud of you.
But I did see the story. It was really funny.
Yeah, it was a good time. But anyway, thanks for coming running with me, Noah.
You're going to have to pay me some good money to come.
I really expected you to say no when I called you. I really did.
I was very tempted.
Yeah.
Props to you for just being like, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
all right.
No, I appreciate that.
I'll break out my running shoes.
Genuinely, like anytime somebody, like this kind of leads into the conversation we're about to have, but like, if there's certain things in life where if somebody asks me to do it, it's always an automatic yes, or I will try to make it work as quick as possible.
Right.
One of those things is movies. Guys,
oh, yeah.
I want to start with, not on a dour note, but I want to ask you guys, when was the last time you went to the movie theater?
Oh, mine's sad. Brad, when was the last time you went to the movies?
The time we all went to the movie theater.
Which was...
I think.
Which was that?
OJ's, when I got the ramen for some reason on a hot day.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
What movie was that?
I was sweating so much.
Nah, I swore again.
Oh no, Randy, you made the rule.
It's hard, man. Like that's
hard.
that's my shorthand. You know,
yeah.
like
I feel like that's my
Yeah.
It's becoming my
maybe this will teach me to like slow down and like
Think about
really
what you
think
say.
about what I'm saying. I'm gonna try that. Noah,
Let's all meditate for 5 minutes.
absolutely. Brad, what was the movie?
Ooh, that's a great question. What was the movie?
I'm going through my letterbox right
it
now
might
to
have
see
been.
like which
it
one
might have been.
was.
It might have been Thor.
No way, that was the last movie
Really?
you
Was
went
it?
saw.
It might have been Thor.
Bradley.
I haven't gone in a long time.
Noah, fill air for a second because I gotta see if I can find.
Thor: Love and Thunder. Did that come out after John Wick? I swear you were there for John Wick.
I wasn't at John Wick.
You weren't there for John
No,
Wick?
I wish I was at John Wick, but I just wasn't.
Oh, John Wick was so
Were you
good.
there for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse?
No.
And you weren't there for Guardians 3 because Noah and I went and saw that.
Mm-hmm.
Brad, you might be right, bro.
I did watch Guardians 3 at some point in the
In the theater?
In the theater?
Not in the theaters.
Okay.
Not in the theaters.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Brad, that's almost 2 years.
There's
What?
no way.
Thor: Love and Thunder.
Was that almost 2 years
If we're guessing that's the last time you went.
Yeah.
Thor: Love and Thunder came out in that came out in July 2022.
Wow.
Damn.
Holy, bro.
Wow.
No, when was the last time you went
That's
to the theater?
disgusting. I feel
Unfortunately, the last time that I went was for the newest Kung Fu Panda.
And honestly, Noah, that was the last time I went as well.
Yeah.
And that has left a sour taste in my mouth.
That has.
Was it bad?
It was so bad.
That
not
really makes me
great.
sad.
It genuinely made me so disappointed.
And I think this is one of the reasons why the theater isn't as popular anymore.
Because of Kung Fu Panda. It's all
I
their
think
fuck-
Kung Fu
solely
Panda.
Kung Fu Panda.
Oh man,
It's tough, bro. It's tough.
It's all their friggin' fault, man.
It's their friggin' fault.
But no, it's that going to the theater is so much more costly than waiting for something to come out on the streaming services.
Yep.
Sure, it's a different experience, but you are taking that gamble every time you go in there. Because we all thought that the newest Kung Fu Panda was going to be amazing.
Based on the lineage of the Kung Fu Panda movies, yes.
Yeah.
As we got closer and I started seeing reviews, I was like, oh.
A little questionable.
Yeah.
But we still had a lot of high hopes for it.
Yes.
And those were dashed.
Immediately.
That's
like
pretty-
5 minutes in, Tiani and I looked at each other. It's like, oh no.
That is
It's
super
very
sad.
disappointing, bro.
It's super sad. Like it's and they've done so well with the series. It's
Yeah.
sad. It's sad to hear that it was because number 3 was good, and they hinted at number
3
4.
was so good.
It was great, and they hinted at number 4 really well at the end of 3. It's just too bad they didn't do nothing with it.
Yeah.
But
well,
that-
and it's the investment of like $50 to get the ticket, the popcorn, the drink,
I definitely want to talk about the
Candy
cost
and
and like
everything.
the economy of like, hey, the first thing that gets cut when you're like looking at your budget for the month, probably extra media on top of already paying for services.
Yeah. So what you're saying is you think that maybe it's going out of style simply because people don't have enough money for extracurriculars anymore?
I think it's a combination of quite a few factors, unfortunately.
Right.
I think one of them is absolutely money.
Right.
I think like the fact that I'm making the most money that I have in a while, and I'm still living paycheck to paycheck, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that could be on me. That could be on my spending habits. That's the fact that I live in an apartment by myself. So like I'm not splitting rent.
Right.
It could be so many different things personally.
Right.
But I get the feeling that like I was watching. Okay, so like nerdy thing about Randy McLeod. I watch a weekly.
Randy Lore.
I watch a weekly box office channel from a guy named Dan Merle, and he talks about like the box office every week, and it's like, okay, so yeah, box office really still not doing good. And I'm like, oh.
I'd like to see you sit. I'm just imagining you sitting down with a bucket of popcorn and like a soda to watch this, and he's like, "It still sucks, man."
It's genuinely like I think he puts it on Tuesday morning, and like every Tuesday morning I wake up, I have my coffee, and he's just like, well, if you were hoping for the box office to recover this weekend, it didn't. I'm like, no.
My day's ruined.
And it's so unfortunate because
funny.
it's not the theater's fault that they have to show bad movies.
No.
Or movies that for the majority of the population will not be enjoyed, and it is just getting pushed into the theaters because it's coming from a high profile producer or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
No, and like that's the other point. So we're talking about money.
Right.
But we're also talking about the quality of the movies that have been coming out. I can't remember the last time. I can remember the last time I saw like oh, that was a banger theater experience that I feel like I need to go see again, or I need to tell people, yo, you got to go see this movie. To be honest, I think it was Top Gun Maverick. And I think that was 2 years ago as well.
Was it 2 years ago for Top Gun too?
Yep.
Dude, what is happening?
Time is weird.
Bullet Train was a great movie theater hit.
That was a fun time.
That was a good time.
That was a fun time, but that was also 2 years ago.
That's crazy.
So, and again, that could come down to like personal preference again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In that, like, it ran last year. Oppenheimer came out. Barbie came out. And I'm like, yeah, but
those weren't for me.
Yeah, exactly. And in my personal opinion, when we're asking the question, do we still need movie theaters? I wholeheartedly still hold out hope for the movie theater. Well, I want that experience so badly.
Yeah, and I feel like more and more movies are realizing that if you cater to streaming audiences, you are probably going to be more successful, it feels. Like, I feel like when Oppenheimer, because like Oppenheimer is out on streaming services now, I feel like a lot more people have watched Oppenheimer or Barbie. I don't know if Barbie's on streaming. I think it might be on Prime.
It might be on Max.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
Either way,
it's on something.
Like, you can stream them now, and I feel like a lot of people would rather do that than just go to the movie.
It's easier.
And it's easier, and I feel like if they're like, oh, releasing on Netflix on this day, like Netflix originals for some reason are doing really well all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And because
it's easy.
It is. It actually goes back
and cheap.
Before we started the podcast, we were talking about VR, and we were talking about like, yeah, it's just like really annoying to go get your VR headset on and get set up for that and like clear space when I can just turn on my Xbox controller and start playing a game
in one button.
That's the same with streaming. That's the same with going to the theater. Like, and I don't want to be negative, because like genuinely the point of this podcast is to be like, man, I still believe in the theater, and I still want that theater experience to be around.
Yeah, there's something about a theater for sure.
But the experience of going to the theater alone isn't enough to carry the entire industry.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't blame people for wanting that easier. Like, it's the equivalent to like eating out or like ordering in versus going out to a restaurant. It's the same thing in that, like, well, I can either pay a premium for like video on demand in terms of like, hey, if you only watched Oppenheimer for a month, you paid what's Prime now? $12, $15?
I'm not sure.
Whatever. You paid $15 to watch Oppenheimer, right? You go to theater, hey, it's $12 for your ticket. It's $10 for popcorn. It's $7 for a drink.
Yeah.
It gets up there.
And you can also, like, for most movies, you can rent them while they're in theaters, pretty much like when they release on streaming services.
And you can rent them for the price of the ticket, and you get to rewatch it for like, I think
48 hours.
48 hours.
Yeah.
As many times as you want. Or even in some streaming services, it's the entire month.
Which means not only do you get to eat whatever food you have in your house and drink whatever drink, you don't have to rely on the selection at the movie theater.
Yep.
You also don't have to drive anywhere.
You don't have to drive anywhere. You can pause it if you have to go to the bathroom. You can, like, I totally understand.
For sure.
And I do think, this is such a, like, I was about to swear. This is such a, peaceful, like, oh man, everyone can coexist together. But I genuinely think that streaming and movie theaters can coexist together. I think we can have both.
Absolutely.
Someday, genuinely, like, I can't watch Alien 1 in theaters, like the original Alien.
Yeah.
I can't. So I'm going to watch it on streaming. And that's a great experience. But I'm not going to lie, when I see that they're making this new movie, Alien Romulus, I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, that's going to be a theater experience.
Right.
And that's a whole nother thing. Whenever movies get released and everything, almost immediately it's like, oh, I would love to see that in theaters. And then everything gets tacked onto it. The ticket, the food, the driving.
Yep.
And the experience is, like I said, it's a gamble. Like, it could be a really good movie and you can fully enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
But you can also run the risk of having some little kid behind your back that's going to be kicking your seat
and
for 2 hours.
There's a lot of external factors like that, man. Like, genuinely, since going back to the theaters after COVID, the amount of times I've had to get up and tell people, like, please stop talking. Like, and I hate doing it. But I know that if I don't do it, it will ruin my experience. And I know that's like but my experience is more important than yours. But don't talk through the movie.
Yeah, don't do that.
Like, genuinely, it drives me up the wall. But anyway, That's beside the point. But yeah, you're totally right, Noah, in that like there's so many external factors. But
it's that instant like brand new movie gets released. I would love to see it in theaters. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would absolutely prefer to watch it on the giant screen.
Yes.
In the like comfy chairs and everything with all my buddies and whatnot.
Chairs there.
But it's also going to be incredibly easier, much cheaper to just watch it on my couch on my TV.
And I think right now for people, I feel like the big seller is cheaper. Like everything a lot of people are having a lot of money troubles right now.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's just a time when people are like, I would rather stay home and save the money.
Especially because it doesn't feel like a lot of these movies are like, oh, you gotta get to the theater to watch this.
Yeah. It's like, man, I'll probably just see it next year when it comes on streaming.
And that's kind of what I'm worried about, right? Like with like my interest in watching movies, and like I kind of use myself as a barometer because
well, it's the only thing you have experience with.
Exactly, but I also like a lot of people are like, oh, Rand, you're the movie guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, yeah, I enjoy watching movies a lot. Like it's something I really, really enjoy.
You are the person I take your recommendations very seriously.
Right.
And you're the only person I actually no offense, Noah.
Wow.
No, everybody else, I'm like, yes, they'll be like, watch it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Randy
and then
is
Randy
the
tells
guy.
me someone, and I'm like, okay. Like you told me about Blue-Eyed Sam. You brought it up one day. You're like, I love that. And I was like, that's my next anime now.
Yeah.
Like, that's the next thing I'm watching.
It's got the Randy seal of approval.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah, but like I look at just real quick, if we want to look, let's gaze into the crystal ball, guys. Let's look at the future.
Should someone make a future noise? What is a future noise for like a?
You know, like
Dan will make a sound effect or something.
You think you will?
I think Dan can make a sound effect of like gazing into a crystal ball.
I don't really know what they. Okay. You're looking into the future. Movie theaters still suck. They always did. This is my opinion. Back to the show.
Thanks, Dan. But he's just gonna edit it, and he's like, I'm not doing that.
Anyway, here's the future.
Yeah. But like, I'm looking into this little crystal ball, and I'm seeing what's on the horizon. Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's it, Noah.
I know.
I'm so excited for it. I genuinely am.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that will get people to the theater. This is this summer's big blockbuster.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Unfortunately, one big blockbuster doesn't
sustain the industry.
Exactly. And that's what I'm worried about. In that, I looked at the rest of the year. I'm like, okay, so Gladiator 2 is coming out in the fall. That's not gonna be a smash.
They're making another Gladiator?
Yeah, they are.
I'm sure my dad's gonna really love that.
Did your dad like Napoleon?
I don't know.
Exactly. Like that's kind of what like the same thing that I'm feeling from that, right? Like,
yeah, that's weird. It's an odd one.
But yeah, like so far in this year, Dune Part 2 was the biggest blockbuster hit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
However, it's not like gangbusters. Like we're not talking Oppenheimer, we're not talking Barbie like from last year. So what's my point is the question I'm asking myself in my brain right now. My point is I'm just a little nervous about 2 years ago, last year, the amount of times I'd hit up the group chats, I'd be like, guys, like let's set up like we're going to OJ's first, and then we're going to the theater. We're gonna have a great time, and then we'll watch the movie. We'll head to the parking lot. We'll have our little debriefs, and like we'll be like, "Oh, yo, that part was sick, bro!" Or like
super fun times.
I haven't had that in so long, and I really miss it.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really do, and I kind of want to shift to like the movie theater can bring so many fantastic experiences.
Oh, absolutely.
I was thinking about this topic last night, and I was like, I can remember the group of people that I go with to like the movies that I've seen. Like I remember theater experiences so vividly.
Right.
I don't remember sitting on couches watching movies with friends as vividly.
I understand.
Like
even when it was Klaus?
Oh, see, I have watched Klaus many a time with many a people, and I do remember every group of people that I've watched it with.
That's fair, yeah.
It's a good movie though. It's a good movie.
We could, and this is like, I guess this really isn't on the topic of whether movie theaters are in or not, but we could, in the future, we could try and make like a special day at somebody's place watching a movie as opposed to the theater to try it out one time. Like you know what we were talking about? Like, let's do a special day where we like get together, potluck, watch the movie, and then chat for a little bit, and everybody goes home. You know what I mean? That was just a complete tangent. I was just thinking of a way we could.
We've been trying to do that, like we call ourselves the Sea of Keefers. I don't know why. Yeah. So we have our group chat where it's just like me, Noah, Tiani, Chris, and Sam. And we've been trying to like ensure that we do movie nights regularly to like ensure that we keep hanging out and stuff, which is great. But I feel you, Brad, in that like setting up a specific like, yo, we're gonna create the theater experience at home to like save money.
Yeah,
kind of a play. But
it
I
can
just
be in the move. But
there's something about the theater.
It's not the same.
It's not.
It never will be the same.
Yeah.
But I do get where you're scared. Like I could see the theaters becoming a blockbuster situation, which is sad to say.
That's so sad.
Yeah, like I don't want that to happen because a lot of memories have been made at the theater, and like I feel like it's still a go-to thing for a lot of people, or like when they're like, let's do something.
Yeah.
It's like movie theaters always in the.
Where are people supposed to have awkward first dates? Where you just sit there and
that's
you're like,
real.
are we supposed to talk to each other? We're not supposed to talk to each other because we're in the theater. But
and then you spend half the movie trying to gain the courage to put your arm around her.
Yeah, and then you're like, but
everyone needs that experience.
And then you like it fails, and then you have to sit there for the rest of the movie and be like, it's hard to focus on the movie right now. Really thinking about that arm move that I made. Damn. So before we get, I want to shift to like these experiences, these theater like memories that we like are like, yo, this was a fucking moment. Damn it. Oh, it's so difficult. It's so difficult. I owe you guys a lot of beers. I want to shift to that, but before we do, I want to ask the definitive question. Noah, you started at the front, like, hey, get rid of them for golf courses.
That was purely a joke.
Absolutely.
I despise golf.
I understand that. But, like, do you think we still need the movie theater?
I think as it stands right now, movie theaters will probably end up getting phased out much like drive-in movie theaters did.
Wow.
Because it just,
drive-in
to me, it feels like one of those things where it's like, it was predetermined at the start. Like, the drive-in theaters didn't really stick around because, regular movie theaters were air-conditioned, the food was more accessible, the washrooms were better, there wasn't any bugs or anything like that.
Right.
It wasn't weather-dependent or anything, so, like, obviously a lot of people moved from drive-in theaters into indoor theaters.
Yep.
And now it's getting even more efficient.
We're almost going even more indoors.
Yes.
We're staying indoors.
We're getting even more comfortable now where we can bring a lot of the movie theater experiences into our own home and oftentimes a lot cheaper at the cost of waiting until the movie comes out onto a streaming service.
Yeah.
So I think movie theaters will definitely stick around for a long time, but I don't think they're ever going to see the same peak of popularity that they once saw.
Yeah, that's fair. Like I completely agree with what you're saying. Like, and if I'm not being an optimist, I do see the theater landscape changing. Like, I don't think it's going to stay the same forever. It's either they adapt or they die, unfortunately, and that's super scary to me because I genuinely like I said, I grew up going to the movie theater.
Yeah,
it's such a like ingrained part of like
it's a memorable part of everyone's childhood.
Yeah.
And like when they first came out with 3D, where you had the red and blue glasses, and then they changed from the red and blue to just like the regular like glasses looking.
I'll never forget Ice Age 3, bro.
Oh,
Ice Age 3.
It was amazing.
I don't remember which one I watched, but
and then they came out with like the surround sound and everything. They always have that little trailer at the start of movies. I love that so much.
So
you
cool.
Hear the bird flying around.
Yeah, man.
That's still amazing.
Yeah.
But how much innovation can you do in
how
a movie
many
theater?
fun little bells and whistles can you add?
Yeah, exactly.
What was it? It was so many years ago when like they've been innovating movie theaters more and more, and they tried starting to do they called it 4D or like 5D.
Yeah, they call these like
the,
premium formats.
Yeah,
yeah.
And they're like, you had like scratch and sniffs for,
like,
right. Scenes and
Spy Kids 4, bro.
Yeah,
I'll never forget. I never went and saw it, but
No.
I heard about it.
I heard about that too. I was like, that was crazy.
Yeah.
But like every time they add one of those new innovations, guess what? The price is gonna go up on them because that's a whole nother system that they got to start maintaining now.
Yeah. But then they didn't. Like the only person that's keeping IMAX or like 3D alive is friggin' James Cameron with Avatar.
Bless his heart.
Yeah. Brad, what do you think? Do we still need the movie theater?
I think there's always a place for the movie theater.
Good
But
answer.
I could see in the future the movie theater being something like cassettes for our parents, in the sense of like
outdated technology.
it's like, oh yeah, you guys wouldn't even know about that. You know what I mean? Which is sad because like I feel like older generations than us have been through things like that, and I feel like maybe the movie theaters might be one of those things for us. Where it's like,
that's such a
damn.
scary thought, bro.
It is. It's scary to say, and I don't think it's gonna happen right away.
No,
I think we got some time. There's so much money that went into the movie theater industry, and there's a lot of big brains and people that depend and people that make a lot of money off of it. So obviously they're gonna innovate or make a difference or make a change if they have to.
and like
But it just might not be as not as popular.
as far as I'm aware, and like I don't have the stats to back this up, but like as far I can make a guess that like during like the recession or like the Great Depression or whatever, like not the recession, sorry, I meant the Great Depression. I'm assuming the movie theaters did not do well because nobody has any money and therefore nobody can go to the movie theaters and
and that definitely plays a huge part in it. Like we've been saying this entire time, like money is a huge limiting factor for a lot of people.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you look at like from where obviously the dip started 2020 when everything had to shut down.
Yeah.
And then we get into 2020. It was the end of. It was about. I think it was 2021-ish that like they started to sort of stagger reopen, but then it was dependent on like the surges and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like 2022 is like, okay, we're back. But even since then, like the road to recovery is still not there, and like it's still struggling to like hit those highs, like the consistent highs. We've been hitting highs, and that's what I kind of wonder is that like, does it come down to quality? Because we got like, okay, Top Gun Maverick, box office banger.
Dude, everyone watched that movie.
That movie made so much money.
Yeah.
And was such a success.
Yeah.
But the movies surrounding it didn't keep up. Like, what I'm saying is that, like, I wonder if it's like a quality situation in that people will show up for good movies. They absolutely will.
Right.
But we've been getting some lackluster stuff.
Some pretty stinky movies.
And it's not even like stinky. Like, it's
not even that
it's
smelly.
not even
dude.
that smelly.
Well, and like if you told me, sorry, keep going.
No, I was just gonna say like that. It's just a lot of like, yeah, it was okay. They're not theater experiences.
Right, I get
they're
what
not.
you're
They're not like Omega level threats. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
not. They're just.
Not. Yeah.
Yeah. What were you gonna say? No.
I was gonna say, and even like as a bit of like a lesser, more subtle point, I didn't think I was gonna have to worry about the morality of movies. Like with a lot of CGI and stuff nowadays.
Interesting.
With the AI. And whatnot. Like.
You have to be choosy about like, do I want to support this movie?
Exactly.
Yeah, I see
like
what you're saying.
if AI is not your jam, that's gonna be something that you're gonna have to overcome or put a hard stance on when it comes to a lot of these movies because like Kung Fu Panda 4,
right? With that thing at the end,
they used AI in it, and you could tell. And
it was tricky because it was like an AI tool. I think I don't know.
AI is still AI.
Well, it's tricky. It gets tricky. I'm with you though. Yeah. Like, let's not replace humans.
That is an odd idea to try and create art with computer. Like, I feel like a lot of the charm is like
the people working behind.
Like, I know somebody made each scene and put their every day into it, and it makes me appreciate it a lot more.
That's why
it was kind of brought up.
I can understand how that would make you make me not enjoy something as much, knowing that there wasn't as much passion put into it, and it was more like oop boop 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 boop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
That was me typing into a computer.
That was the future sounds.
That was
the future.
GPT, right?
Yeah.
That was future sounds.
This entire podcast AI generated.
I'm not even here right now.
God.
I'm at work.
Could you imagine?
Well, we could be. At this point in time, our voices could 100% be AI.
They have a lot of data to pull from.
I know
they
do.
Sure.
Oh,
everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the whole AI morality thing, like that's a whole nother barrier that's added onto movies now.
Yep.
A little earlier, it was kind of the CGI effects on dead people, bringing them back. Into the movie.
That was the whole thing.
That was the thing that happened.
Yeah.
And
forgot about that.
Yeah, and knowing that happened in a lot of like large movies,
that
left a weird feeling.
Right. Yeah.
That is strange.
How would this is a weird question.
Go for it, bro.
I'm throwing it out there. If you passed away, like say you like Randy died. Oh, damn. You know what I mean?
Darn.
Mike's dead.
Mike and Rand have died.
Yeah. Okay. Let's use Mike. Okay. So Mike dies in the podcast.
Right.
Our podcast is also video, but the next podcast we release, Mike is CGI'd into it with his voice. Afterwards, as someone who has lost a family member, how would that make you feel?
I'd be pretty upset. I'm not gonna
Would
lie.
it be like, they're paying homage to him, like in the sense of like how they did Stan Lee in Marvel? I think that's awesome. Like throwing Stan Lee in Marvel, I don't think that's the worst thing in the world. Like just him in the background being like thumbs up.
Oh yeah, but he was
something
still
like that.
alive for that.
He was alive for those.
But some of them he wasn't he?
No. So like Endgame was the last one they recorded before he died.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
I thought he was.
And then past that, he hasn't been in it.
Okay, that's okay. My bad. Well, then I mean,
But
that
I know
would
what
be
you
like
mean.
that would be like the only time I would think it's like, like this person did a lot and they want to throw him some appreciation or her some appreciation in the movie.
Yeah.
See, and
But
when,
like doing a full movie.
on the point of Stan Lee, like they haven't included him in any movies since his passing.
Yeah.
At the time or before his death and everything, I followed him on Twitter.
I was about to bring this up.
And after he died, they paid homage and whatnot, and then they continued using
That following
his
base. Yeah.
following base
Yeah.
That's just
to show like, oh, here's some behind the scenes on the latest Marvel movie.
Yeah, it's just like, whoa,
It
don't
just-
use this account
Don't
anymore.
use a dead body to
Yeah.
It's like-
further stuff like that.
It's like a puppet where it's like, hi guys, I'm Stan Lee.
yeah. It's like the I don't know if that sits right. That's a little
no,
weird.
it feels.
Let someone-
it doesn't
let someone
feel
be
like you're.
gone.
It doesn't feel like you're paying homage to them. It feels like you're using their corpse.
Yeah,
to,
like
to,
using-
Totally.
to garner
Yep.
interactions.
So to answer the question, like myself, I absolutely think we still need theaters.
Yeah.
I genuinely think that it is a fantastic way for people to connect, for relationships to foster, and for shared communal experiences. And that's why I want to get into our favorite experiences, and I want to talk about the thing that is on everybody's mind when you think, like, what's your favorite theater experience?
Yeah.
It's Avengers Endgame.
Yeah,
It
fair.
That was
has to be.
definitely-
that makes
definitely
sense.
one of the biggest ones.
While I don't like, I think I've gone on record saying this, but like,
Did you guys go day one for Endgame?
oh, I did. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. So like, I was working at Co-op at the time,
Yeah.
and I had bought my tickets the day that they went on sale,
Damn.
and then like for Brandon, they were all sold out within the hour
Yeah.
for the first opening night.
Yeah.
And I was like, guys, I got our tickets. And I was
Yeah.
like, let's go. That was me, Noah, and Carter of all people.
Yeah, I remember that because
Yeah.
I feel like that specifically in movie experiences would be how could you beat that?
That's what I'm saying.
How could you beat that?
And like, it's a packed theater where like hype has hit a fever pitch,
Dude, everyone's excited.
and
Anything
nobody
that
knows what's
happens-
going to happen.
Yeah.
And that's why I think like you would have an experience sitting on your couch watching that movie for the first time. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm not disregarding that, but it is not the same experience.
No, that shared energy
Yes.
in there.
That
dude,
electric
you would have
energy.
felt it right in your chest.
There's
you
a
would've, like oh, it would've
there
been
is a
great.
difference between watching a comedy at home versus watching a comedy in a theater with a bunch of people.
Well, it's like going
Right.
to the hockey rink to watch the home team play or watching it on the TV.
Precisely. And I think the energy that you feel in a movie theater, and it's so easy to be a part of it and let it wash over you because you're in a theater where it's dark enough that you don't have to see everybody else's faces, and like you can react the way you want to. I remember like I'll be vulnerable for a second, but like the amount of times I've cried in a movie theater because I can, because nobody's gonna see me. Like, dude, I'm like, when I watched Logan for the first time, I'm sitting through those credits and I'm just bawling. And I'm like, no, man, like come on, and like, but that's an experience.
Yeah.
And like I can do that at home, absolutely. I completely understand that. But there's something about being vulnerable in an area where other people are inhabiting.
Right.
Shared experience.
Yeah.
Well, and not to get all like what's the word, boho, I guess, but like
What's boho?
Boho's like a hippie.
Oh, like Bohemian.
Yeah, like a little like ooh,
Yeah.
like get spiritual, I guess would be the word. Like there is genuinely in a crowd of people, and this is just I guess it's just a fact. I don't know why. I
Yeah,
said
go for it.
People are when there's people in the same area passionate about the same thing, the energy is just higher.
Yes.
And people feed off other people's energy, and it's just like it's a fact.
Yeah.
Like the way other people are like in Endgame, when there's a scene and the snap, let's say.
Yeah.
Dude, that like everyone in the theaters like
When
not a word had to be said and you could still feel it 10
like,
times than you would have by your own.
This isn't it's a spoiler, but like everybody has seen Endgame at this point.
Yeah.
When Cap picks up Mjolnir
Yeah.
and the entire theater erupts.
Yeah.
That is so much different than you being on your couch being like, oh shit.
Literally though, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's freaking out.
Also, I just swore. I'm so sorry.
Number 4.
Yeah, that's 4. Noah, what was your Endgame experience? Do you remember it? Like, that's the thing. Was it a memorable experience?
One of my most memorable movie theater experiences was actually the first Avatar movie.
Oh, okay.
We went and saw it in 3D, and specifically there is one monster in Avatar. It's like the 6-arm or 6-legged jaguar thing.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
And it had like all the little ones, the little kid versions of it and everything. I remember
Children.
I was
Little kiddos.
little kids.
Yep.
I was so terrified of it, and in 3D it was just magnified.
Yeah.
That for the rest of that movie, I sat in my seat with like my legs up on the chair and everything. Like I didn't want my legs touching the ground because the irrational fear that they would jump out of the screen or whatever and like bite my ankles or some shit.
No, that's so funny because I remember sitting through Pirates of the Caribbean 4. What was that one called? On Stranger Tides, and the mermaid scene where like they're like doing the siren thing where it's like, oh yeah, just come on over, like we're singing, and then they just like viciously like tear people apart. I'm like, as a kid, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, no, that was so memorable.
Yeah,
and like I still love the movie, but that absolutely terrified me.
Yeah,
and it was definitely the 3D aspect of it.
Yeah,
and just how monumental Avatar was as a
movie.
CGI movie,
for sure.
movie and everything.
That was also an era like in Avatar when a lot of movies made scenes for 3D.
Yeah.
Like in Ice Age, I'm pretty sure there was literally what's his name? What's the little
Scrat?
Scrat. It was Scrat. For some reason I thought that was like it sounds vulgar. It sounds like a swear word. So I was like, is that his
sounds
name?
like what?
Scat?
Sounds like what?
A swear word?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways,
Scat.
is that just poop?
Yeah. It's just poop.
Okay, cool. Anyways, it's my boy Scrat. He drops
My boy Scat.
Hey yo, Scratty.
he drops his acorn and it goes towards the camera.
Yeah.
And in the theater, it was like, ew.
Yep.
Like it felt like it was right at your face.
Oh my god, I remember exactly what scene that is.
100%.
Yep.
Yeah. And then like also in Avatar, there was the scenes when they flew for the first time.
Yes.
And specifically in 3D, you would see them like right there. Like it looked like it was crazy. So and now I feel like 3D is used in movies, but
It's a bit more of a gimmick now.
yeah. It's more just like we threw 3D in here.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, we made like a few scenes for 3D that look good in 2D too, but it's like in 3D these are gonna look nuts.
Totally. And I think that's why James Cameron is such a like proponent of it. And he's just like, oh, I think you can do really cool stuff with it as long as you
more
dedicate
immersive.
the resources to it.
It's more immersive.
Yep.
100%.
Brad, do you have like a specific like theater experience that really sticks out in your mind? Like,
Ooh, specifically,
yeah,
I think just any time we all went together,
yeah,
to be honest, has stuck out of my mind. I just remember feeling just great. Like before the movie,
man.
during the movie, and then after the movie, it was just like this shared like experience, and it was just really super exciting to be a part of.
If I can jump off of that real quick, like I think the theater experience isn't just the being in the theater part.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's everything surrounding it.
Right.
And like, I remember before going into Top Gun Maverick, we go to Original Joe's and we get a flight of beer because it's funny, and then we're coming up with our call signs or whatever, and like then we go in, we got our aviators on, we're having the best time, and then like we get out and we're like, oh, let's go. Like when he does the test run, bro, come on, man. And it's like, oh my God, he's going to do it. Like,
yeah,
I feel that, bro. I really do.
It's like there becomes a build up to it in the sense of like while you're going into it, it makes you think about where's the movie going to be.
Yeah.
Like, and on demand or in streaming, it's like, oh yeah, this looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then you click play.
And to be fair, that's why
there's nothing wrong with that.
I genuinely think it does come down to quality, because I remember when we went over to your place and we watched Puss in Boots and the Last Wish.
Oh yeah.
That was one of the best experiences I've had watching a movie.
Yeah.
Do I wish we watched it in theaters? Yeah. Do I mind that we watched it in your basement? No.
But to be fair, my basement does have some good. It's
pretty tricked out. It's pretty tricked out. It's pretty tricked out.
Some pretty good speakers in there. If we watched that on the TV, like just with TV speakers.
Yeah, the TV speakers.
Yeah, I would have been like, okay, like this is still a great movie, but
where's the bass?
Where's the bass?
Yeah.
Where's that oomph? Where's that surround sound?
Can I rapid fire a couple theater experiences?
Yes,
Sure.
absolutely.
Venom 1. Do you remember going seeing Venom 1?
Oh, so fun.
Dude.
So fun.
And that's another experience where it's the experience surrounding the movie.
The movie didn't matter.
Because the movie is terrible. I was about to say dog, but it's dog water. That movie is terrible. But it was so much fun because we knew that going in, and we hit Smitty's. We hit up Smitty's before, and we were like, "I will get 3 beers, please."
I will drink a lot.
I will drink all of them.
Exactly what we were going to go in for.
And we're just sitting in this movie. I'm like, "This is hilarious. I'm loving this." Venom 1 was a moment.
Absolutely, it was.
And then, do you remember going to see The Revenant?
Oh yes, I do.
Yeah, that movie really sticks with me for some reason because that's one of those movies where it's a slow burn. Like it's a lot of landscape shots and a lot of quiet moments.
It was a lot. It was. I feel like it was memorable because the movies that we had gone to as groups and stuff.
Yeah.
They were all like actiony, like superheroes or whatever movies. Whereas this was like the first one that felt like, oh, this is an adult movie.
No, it's you. Yeah. The reason why I bring up that one is because that was not the first movie. That was a movie that made me think in those moments of silence and reflect on what I'd already seen, and I'd figure something out. Like there's a shot pretty early on in the movie where their camp gets raided, and one of the guys in the camp shoots one of the horses, and it's like, why did he do that?
Yeah,
and I'm like, that's really messed up, whatever. And there's so much things happening that I'm just like, oh, okay, I can't think about that right now because I got to focus on what's happening in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Later on, we get into the movie, and there's a quiet moment where, it's just a landscape shot. It's just a wide whatever. And it gives me a moment, and I'm like, oh, he shot the horse so that the raiders couldn't get the horse. I'm like, oh, okay.
And
it, clicked.
Process.
Exactly.
Which makes it, yeah.
Do you know, and the reason why I'm bringing this up, if I'd watched that at home, I would have got to that moment, and I would have looked at my phone. And I wouldn't sit to process the movie. I would have been like, I'm bored. Or I'm not engaged right now, and therefore I'm going to look at my phone. Mm-hmm. That's something that the theater offers in that you can't look at your phone even though you can.
Which is, you can, but it says at the start not
Frowned
to.
upon.
Frowned upon.
100%. And a lot of people stick by it and don't.
And Randy will yell at you from across the ropes.
You'll be front row, standing up.
Get off your phone. I'm trying to enjoy the movie.
This is about me. This isn't about you.
My experience.
No, but that is also a great point in the sense of a world dominated by phones. You can't even get a job without a phone now. You need your phone to work and to make a living.
Yep.
To have an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever, how long the movie is, and it's shut off the phone and you can't look at it.
Yeah.
Is honestly a pretty good plus.
Noah, do you remember? And this is going off what you're saying, Brad.
Yeah.
I'm not just
no, it's good.
Jumping
you
off
could
or away from you.
You could just run away.
No, it's okay. Noah, do you remember? Is that your leg?
Sure is.
I'm so sorry. I was looking for the table leg.
Now it's super awkward.
It's getting hot in here.
I gotta leave. I gotta go.
Anyway, Noah, do you remember going to see? And that's the thing where I'm talking about where I'm like, yeah, I remember who I went with to each movie.
Yeah.
Do you remember watching War for the Planet of the Apes?
Oh, God. I'm trying.
No, it's okay. You and I went to it. I just want to let you know.
We did.
You're a horrible friend if you don't remember.
Yeah, no. That's not what I'm saying. It's not so much the experience of you and I going to see it. It was the thing about that movie experience and talking about phones is that I left my vibrate on, or my what's it called?
Ringer.
It's not a ringer, but
when
I had it on vibrate. I had it on vibrate, and my phone just kept on popping off, and for some reason I didn't decide to turn it off. So I would just sit through the movie and I'll be like, I was only thinking about that. And I wasn't focusing on the movie. And that's why I think it's really valuable to just put your phone away for however long, 2 hours.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I'm rambling at this point, but
that's a good point. I have a weird thing where I've always had my phone completely muted.
Yeah, I love that.
It's a good time, but I do miss a lot of calls.
Yes, you do.
And
Yes, you do.
if I lose my phone, guess what? Can't
You
call
are
it.
out of luck.
Yeah, that's it. I just gotta find that thing.
Yeah,
So there is pluses and negatives to it.
totally.
I just keep mine on vibrate, and
Me too.
if it goes off in the movie, then it's like, I'll get.
Oh, I
I'll
turn
get
it
to
off.
when I get to it.
What?
I very much turn it off when I'm in the theater.
When I run vibrate, or when I used to,
Yeah.
I feel like I got phantom vibrates. Like I wouldn't. My phone
I
wouldn't even
felt
vibrate.
that's
Oh,
real.
yeah.
That's real, bro.
Is that
It is.
That's
a
a
thing?
1000% real.
Okay.
Like the amount of times I'll be like, oh,
I
somebody.
swear there was
I'm
a
like,
notification right there.
no, I guess not.
Like, who
It's like a phantom vibrate.
Who did that?
You know?
Who did that? It's like when you
Ghost.
take that poop and you didn't actually.
What?
The phantom. You ever get a phantom poop?
I haven't.
Like when it feels like you pooped and then you look in the toilet and there's just nothing there.
Oh, I'm kind of there with you.
Yeah,
I'm kind of there with
I
you.
mean? It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I swear.
Bro, I could
I had-
swear,
I could swear.
but I
had it.
won't because this is a PG podcast.
Yeah.
But like,
Well,
I
you already
could
did
swear.
it 4
swear.
times.
I don't want
so-
to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that.
Leave it in the past.
Leave it in the past. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a turbulent time.
It is a
for the
turbulent time,
movies.
and maybe I'm just like getting caught up in the moment, and I'm seeing the down. And like I said, I listen to this podcast or this video every week, and I'm just like, it's not looking good again this
Right.
week. But we had the Super Mario Bros. Movie last year that did an amazing amount of money. Like, I'm also hitting this weird point in life, not life, but like in this last little while where I'm like hitting this point of apathy. I was talking to you about this when we went for beers the other night, but like I'm hitting this point where I'm like, I'm not feeling the draw to things that I used to feel the draw to.
Like
Unfortunately.
your hobbies are switching up. You feel?
Yeah, and I don't want that because movies are such a core part of who I am, and like I love
Right.
stories. Like that's
You enjoy-
genuinely my thing.
Yeah.
I love stories, and movies are some of the best ways to tell stories. What are you doing? What's that? What's that?
Just I poked it a little. Ooh.
Oh,
It just kept going.
yeah, but like
It's the best. It's the best medium to tell a story because
Yeah.
you get visual, audio,
exactly
the whole. Well, that's it actually.
visual, audio, but also experiential
Yeah.
and community and shared sense of everything.
In movies, the stories that have been told in movies have affected me the most emotionally, out of any medium.
It's
I would say.
such a good medium for that.
Yeah.
Like it's so difficult for a book to make me cry. Like it's only happened like twice
Yeah,
in
like
my
what,
life.
how are you supposed to like? How many sentences I gotta read to cry? Like,
Yeah, it's
how-
like, oh shit, damn it.
yeah,
Oh shit, these words be
Number
hidden.
5.
You know, like
it's like you just keep reading, and then you're crying, so you can't even keep reading anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
It's
So
like,
you can't
oh,
get
it's the
any-
worst.
any
Yeah,
more-
Yeah.
any more sad.
And like I had this problem I think 2 years ago, Noah, when you and I went and saw Guardians 3, where I left that movie so disheartened,
Yep.
and I was like, I hit this point where I was like, am I wrong? It's like, no, the kids are wrong. You know, like, but like, am I changing my like love for something like the MCU or like
Right.
for movies of this kind?
Well, and like something you have to remember is it's not just you that's changing. Like the movie trends as a whole are
Yeah.
also changing.
Yeah, so you're in a situation where it's like is it a it's me problem, not you, in the sense of like you're like it's my problem, not the movie theaters, like you're phasing out of the movie theater or the movies in general.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know if it's a
Right.
me thing, being like, oh, maybe I'm just like not digging movies right now.
It could also just be a lull period.
Yeah,
could be.
and I think
It
that
really
might
could
be
be.
it. Like, not every movie. It's like it's not like board executives are like, yo, we got to make sure Randy loves this movie. You know what I mean?
No, make sure.
Yeah.
We get him to San Fran.
We have to get him
Hey.
to San
We
Fran.
have to get him to San Fran.
Operation. Guys, do you have any closing thoughts on the movie theater? I think we've kind of hit that, and I know I've been like rambling, but
it's
like
good.
I'm so passionate about
I can
movies.
tell.
I
like
really
it.
like the
I
theater.
like hearing it.
Yeah. No, like I said, it's just a turbulent time for theaters.
Yeah.
It definitely feels like the past 2 years have been rough.
Yeah.
They have been rough for movies.
Yeah, rough for movies in general,
Yeah.
which in turn affects the theaters. So and my final thoughts, I think they're sticking around for a while.
Yeah.
They got
And I want them
time to
to.
recuperate, and I think movies have time to step up their game. And I think I have faith that it'll happen. I have faith we'll get there.
Something we didn't even bring up, and like we won't spend too much time talking about it, but like the writer's strike happened last year.
Yep.
Like
Oh, right,
that
yeah.
genuinely had an effect on the industry. And hey, we're only getting one Marvel movie this year. Guess why? Actors went on strike. Writers went on strike.
Yeah.
Very good.
Very.
Absolutely.
Great, yeah.
But that means, hey, I was expecting another Spider-Verse movie this year. That's what they were like saying, like, hey, part 2 is coming next year.
Yeah.
We're not getting that this year.
No.
Absolutely not.
Anymore.
No. So yeah, we might just be in this weird, like, hey, this hangover period of like, hey, everybody went on strike and now we got to get things running again. And these are just kind of like the holdovers from what we had available.
Yep.
Yeah. Crazy.
Well, and if you're feeling it, Randy, and if I'm feeling it, if Noah's feeling it, other people feel it too.
Yeah.
And therefore, they have to fix it.
Precisely.
Because their money depends on us.
Absolutely.
And
it
that's
absolutely
why
does.
That's why they're doing it.
And if I'm not going to the theater, they're not making money.
No, exactly.
Precisely.
So,
great point. Guys, let's wrap it up there.
let's wrap it up.
I don't know if we actually, we might have hit just an hour.
It could
And
be-
that's all that matters.
I'm good with that.
That's all that matters, that we hit an hour.
Yeah, that's all that matters. Quick thank yous. Daniel Mosionier makes our dope music, creates this dope edit for this episode.
And that cool sound effect, maybe.
Hey, remember that feature sound effect that we asked him to do?
Yeah.
Thanks, Dan.
He's going to be scrolling through all the audio.
He's like, where is it? Damn it. And then thank you to the Creation Nation Makerspace, of course. Link in bio.
Yeah.
And thank you to the viewer/listener. Again, like, really consistent numbers. Really appreciate that.
I do appreciate it.
That's
I appreciate
fantastic.
Every single one of you guys that listen to this.
What I've noticed is that, like, we hit maybe 25 to 30 within, like, the first 2 weeks.
Hey.
And then it just continuously, like, it kind of just grows over time.
Yeah.
Like, there's slow burns in that, like, we hit 20, 25, and if I see 30 within the first 2 weeks, I'm like, hey, that's a success.
That's awesome. Yeah.
But then, like, I keep looking back. It's like, oh, damn, these are consistently getting up to 50s.
Yeah.
This is nice.
100%. I feel like there's definitely groups of people out there that enjoy this a lot.
That's really nice to know. Like, genuinely.
Like, genuinely, it is nice to know.
Yeah.
And I think
That's
about
why
that
we
often.
do this.
And that's why we do it. We do it for you. We stay consistent. We stay goated. We stay not swearing.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
stay PG.
Do we? Do we stay
Sometimes.
PG?
Well,
It's hard, man. It's hard.
PG is hard, yeah.
It's really fucking hard.
How many
Hey,
I did that on
6.
purpose. I did that on
how
purpose.
many swears are allowed in a PG movie?
You only
this
get
would be a-
one F-bomb.
You get one F-bomb.
Yeah.
What does it count for the other ones? Is there other words you can say, or you like no other words? one
I
F-bomb?
believe you can mess around with the S word. Damn is definitely fine.
Yeah. I can't believe damn's even a swear word. I don't understand.
That's surprising that it is.
I don't think
forgot
it
that
is at
was.
this point.
At this
No.
point, I feel like
Yeah.
people.
I
Just
think
be
we moved
dropping
on.
it.
Yeah, but if I ever said damn in front of my parents, ooh, no.
Do they still be like?
I remember I said, oh my God, and my dad was like, "Aight."
You're like,
Watch
"Wait a
it."
minute, What?
Yeah. Guys, let's end it there. Thank you so much for listening. I know this was a little rambly, but I appreciate getting to talk about it. So, yeah. Hey, have a wonderful day.
Yeah. Have
Yeah.
a great evening,
Absolutely.
morning,
Wherever it is.
Wherever it is.
Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of it.
Go enjoy one of your favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
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 Experience some art. Enjoy your life.
Totally. Go cry.
Go cry a little bit. It's
Cry.
good to cry. Cry right now.
Cry and bye.
Cry for me.
I hate it.
I hated it. Too.
All right.
See you guys later. Bye bye.
See ya.